Hello Superboy fans, this is Rennie Cowan from Superboy Theater, and today I'm going to do a review on this fantastic new release of Superboy Season 2 of Superboy the TV Series, starring Gerard Christopher. And as you see, I'm kind of scrolling through my video collection here, my Superman video collection. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But this is my little video section for everything Superman related, and you might recognize some stuff here, and that's what we're going to be talking about. But these are my Superman related movies and DVDs. There's another familiar disc set. But let's get started. And what I'm going to be talking about is Season 2 of Superboy the TV Series. Look at that, boys and girls. What is this? This is Season 2. It just came out, put out by Warner Brothers Archives, Warner Brother Home Video. And look at the front cover. It's very similar to the first DVD set released in 2006, starring John James Newton. If we look at it right down here in my little collection, which has tons of autographs splattered on it, you can see it has the familiar comic book background. And that's what we see here on Season 2, the comic book background. So they made the front cover very similar to what we saw from Season 1. This is the back. Sorry for the reflection, it's just that there's so much light in here. Look at the back. It says, "Meet the original Lana Luthor." What is that telling us? That's saying that Warner Brothers, or actually Warner Home Video, is actually marketing to Smallville fans. They're marketing to the young people who were Smallville fans and hoping to bring in a new audience, which I think is a good idea, because we all know the story of Lana Luthor, right? Lana Lang married Lex Luthor in Smallville, but not in Superboy. Almost, actually, in the season premiere episode where Lex Luthor tries to force Lana to marry him. So that's the connection they're making right here, meet the original Lana Luthor. But for Smallville fans or young people, well, younger than me, gosh, I'm not that old, but for people that only know about Smallville, that are familiar with this horrible, horrible Lana Luthor plot line, well, it wasn't that bad. But are familiar with Lana marrying Lex Luthor on Smallville, this might catch their eye. Lana didn't actually marry Lex Luthor on Superboy the TV series, but he did try to force her to marry him, and to me, the way I saw it is actually just kind of a sick joke. When you meet the Lex Luthor of Season 2, who is a new actor altogether, his name is Sherman Howard, and who Mike Carlin, the Superboy TV series writer, dubs as his favorite Lex Luthor, and he's actually mine too. And poor Scott Wells, I don't think he's anybody's favorite Lex Luthor. I don't want to put him down or you know, make him look bad or anything, but compared to Sherman Howard, I mean, you just can't beat Sherman Howard. You can't beat him. So if you're going to buy Season 2 from Warner Brothers Archives, do, and expect to see a new cast, a completely different cast from Season 1. Here we go, Season 1. This is my Season 1 box. That's the first Superboy, John James Newton, and he still has a fan following. And I loved Season 1. As a Superman fan, this was just, I mean, I love everything about the Superboy show. being a huge Superboy fan anyway. As I indulged into the comic books before, you know, ever even seeing this show, I literally, like, flipped out when I found out it was going to air on TV. So, this is John James Newton, the first Superboy. You could tell he's younger. He was younger than Gerard Christopher. And Ilya, you know, I mean, I interviewed Ilya Salkind, who is the creative and executive producer of the show. And his own words was that, you know, I mean, Gerard Christopher was just a little older, more experienced actor, so he thinks that's why the second season kind of pushed forward the series and made it more successful. Although now, I mean, John James Newton really still looks like Superman. I mean, he could probably still play him. Not Superboy, of course. I mean, that'd be kind of an insult, but Superman. Look at these autographs I got here. Don't you love it? Ilya Salkind, John James Newton autographed it. Stacy Haiduk. Look at that, isn't that cool? So this is my little season 1 kind of little treasure here. Anyways, as we can see in the box, let me open it up here for you. Look at that. Look at how nice the covers look. I mean, I kind of like this. The nice layout right here, and then we see they got the nice photos. That's a typical college Clark Kent there. And then we see TJ White, who was not in season 2. Do not expect this to see the same faces in season 2. Anyways, I just thought I'd point that out. What are we going to see here? See, look at how much kind of... so they're a little more detailed than what I'm going to show you in the box for season 2. I hate to compare the two because it's kind of unfair in the sense that season 1 was a direct release, straight to video in the stores. It was a direct to DVD release in 2006. So season 2 is kind of a miracle release because we didn't think it was even going to get released at all. So here it is. Here's season 2, and wow, look at how white my skin is. God, I'm like an albino or something. And I live in California. Isn't that strange? Anyway, okay. This is, the box is great. I mean, the box in itself, I think, was well done. The cover, I mean, the cover art was well done. What they say on the back is fine. You know, they're kind of trying to lure in the Smallville fans. That's cool. That's cool. Look, we're going to see Bizarro in season 2. The fake imposters of Jor-El and Lara. And who's that? Is that James Bond? And look at that. That's Metallo. Oh my God. Look at all these cool characters that show up in season 2. So, you know what we're going to see in season 2, if you haven't seen it yet, which most of you watching this probably have, or hope to see it, is that you're going to see a lot more comic book action in this one. And Gerard, he is the one most associated with the Superboy TV series because, I mean, he was in it for 3 seasons. So, and of course, this show came out when I was in high school, and I know I've run this story into the ground, so I won't bore all of you with it, but I was in high school when this show came out, and this was my Smallville when I was in high school. Superboy was my Smallville, and every week, every Saturday night, I was literally like bouncing off the walls with the VHS tape shoved in the VCR, just ready to record it. Okay, so now you know my obsession with Superboy, and if you haven't seen my website, please visit it at superboytheater.net, where I totally obsess over this show, and then everybody can think I'm really weird and odd. But anyway, no, not really. No, actually, I mean, I think it's a really good website. If you want to learn about the show, go to superboytheater.net, and I have articles on just about everything about the show. You will certainly learn about the show. So let's open this box up. What is inside? here's what it looks like inside. Okay, so it's the same thing as the cover art, see? The disc, it's very basic. We don't get what episodes are on the discs. We don't. It's 3 discs, and as we know, season 4 was 4 discs, so I don't know, it kind of makes me think of compression. Did they compress season 2 a little more? Because the less discs they use, the more they compress it. Anyways, I'm just bringing up some technical thoughts here. But actually, when I watched it, it looked great. The picture quality was very, very crisp. In some ways, more crisp than season 1. And I don't know if they just have newer techniques now, better computer coloring or whatever, but it looked fantastic. There were only 2 episodes. No, I'm sorry, there was 1 episode, which is kind of already infamous now on Facebook with all the Superboy fans, and that's Abandoned Earth. It's a 2-parter, Abandoned Earth, Escape to Earth, and unfortunately, during one scene where we see Clark standing by the TV, and he's being interviewed as Superboy, that he's leaving to Krypton with his fake imposter parents, Vorok and Murr, as they're called in the episode. It's really an awesome episode. You got to see that. But there's some blurriness in that episode, and I also noticed a dropout, which is kind of, that happens on tape. So, and what they did with Superboy, even though it was shot on 35mm, the original show was shot on 35mm, it was all edited on video playback, and they just put it all onto digital format and then edited it right there, right off of tape, and then it was pumped out on tape again and taken to the TV studios and syndicated and aired. So that's how they did it. Now the 35mm prints are still at Warner Brothers, thank God. We thought we had lost them. And if you read on my website that they lost the 35mm prints, that's because I haven't updated my site yet. I do apologize, but if you visit my site, you'll realize how big it is and how much I wrote. I even surprised myself how much I wrote. Sometimes I think I am kind of psycho about this show, but yeah, I need to update it. So never mind if you read that. And if you read on my website that I'm mad because Warner Brothers hasn't released this show yet, yeah, I need to update. I'm getting around to it. But if you see this video, it's out. It's out. So in season 3 and 4, according to the Warner Brothers home video PR guy, his name's Gary, really cool guy, I spoke to him on the phone. He said that at least season 3 will be out by summer 2013. Of course, I'm also hearing that season 3 will be out sometime around March or April, and season 4 will be out at least by Man of Steel. But we will at least see another season by the time Man of Steel comes out, and isn't that awesome? Because that's perfect timing. But the PR guy at Warner Home Video, when I spoke to him on the phone, he said definitely this year we're going to see the last 2 seasons. So look forward to that. Other than that, this is straight off the press. It's on-demand release, so you're not going to be able to get it in the stores. You're going to be able to get it on Amazon.com or at the WB shop at the Warner Home Video, at Warner Archives on the Warner Brothers website. Just go on Google, type in Warner Brothers Archives, Superboy Season 2, and it will pop up. And the price, when it first got released, I mean, it's $35, and of course I bought it right away. I freaked out and bought it and paid more, but hey, you know. But I believe they are 25% off on Amazon.com right now, and if they are, then go for it. You know, I mean, 25 bucks plus a little bit of postage, that's nothing to enjoy season 2. And if you have not seen Gerard Christopher in action, now is your chance, because I'm telling you, he really put his heart and show into the show, into the character. And look at the change in costume. I love the John Byrne look right there on the cape. And oh my gosh, look at the S, the style of the S. A lot different from John Haymes Newton. If you see, it does not have the John Byrne. It's more like the comic book Superboy. But this is actually more like John Byrne. Like straight out of the comic book. I mean, straight out of his own art box or something. So, fantastic. This is a lot of people's favorite Superboy or Superman related costume. Right here is Gerard Christopher's costume. Between this one and Christopher Reeve, of course. I don't want to bring up the Man of Steel costume because I'm still getting used to it. I'm not saying I don't like it, just getting used to it. I mean, from this to, you know, what Henry Cavill is wearing, you know, from this to what Henry Cavill is wearing, quite a big difference. But that's for a new generation. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of good laughs in Superboy Season 2. Gerard Christopher plays the nerdiest Clark Kent you will ever see, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. As a big fan of Christopher Reeve, that guy, and his nerdy Clark, this is a delightful surprise. I think Gerard Christopher outdid Christopher Reeve on the nerdiness. He really did. And he really put his heart and soul into that too, which I remember reading John Haymes Newton wouldn't do, but he was more of being an actor. John Haymes Newton was more being an actor rather than, you know, Gerard. He wanted the show to be successful, and that's what he did. So he, you know, became, I guess, the fans' beating doll, you know, to please the fans and just do, you know, everything they wanted to do. So, also about the sound quality, it was very decent. The sound quality was good. It wasn't bad. It was good. Especially if you have a home theater system like a 7.1, you know, Dolby Digital, Wonder Stereo or something, you know, you could pretty much listen to it in simulated 7.1 if you want to, which I did. And I thought it sounded great. So the sound is exceptional. The picture quality is exceptional, just for those 2 blemishes I pointed out. Other than that, it's a great watch, and the quality is really, really good. You won't be disappointed. Alright, this is Season 2, the release from WB Archives. If you haven't gotten it yet, do get it. You're going to see a lot of fun stuff. Every episode has the bumpers on the end of it, the commercials for every new show that's going to come up right before they show the show. So, you know, it's a very basic kind of bare bones release. When you put in the disc to watch the menu, you don't hear any music or anything, but you do see the episodes. But I mean, it's just a bare bones release. It was just meant to get it out to the fans, and I think it's good that the fans are able to watch it, and Warner Brothers did do that. You got to hand them that. So if we were mad in the past for Warner Brothers not giving us our Superboy, I think our rage has kind of settled a little bit. And we got our Superboy, and now we're just waiting, you know, for their machines to keep shoveling out Season 3 and 4, and then the rage will be gone. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I happen to think about that video game, the Superman game with the rage. Okay, never mind. But if I were to give this a score between 1 and 5. It would be probably, I would say a 4.5. And I know I'm very forgiving of some things, but I would give it a 4.5 because I think it's just a miracle that it's even out, that it even got released. And I do give it a 4.5 because of that one episode that was kind of with the blemish in it. There's also a Brimstone bumper commercial that has the same kind of blurriness that that's in the Abandoned Earth scene. So I don't know what happened there. So I'm not sure if it's on the original master tape, that blurriness, or if it's, you know, something they did in the processing room, in the transferring, or in the coloration, you know, if it was a little oops or whatever. We don't really know. They would have to go back, somebody at Warner Brothers Archives would have to go back to the original source tape and actually look at it. Just put it in the machine, pop it in, and push play and see if it's on the original master tape or if it's something they did on their machines. If it's something that they did on their computer, some sort of mistake, then it should be easily corrected. You know, I mean, they should have corrected it already. But maybe they're working on season 3 and 4, so I'm not going to complain. Anyways, this is Rennie Cowan from Superboy Theater with the official Superboy Theater DVD Season 2 release of Superboy the TV Series starring George Christopher. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, leave it on YouTube. I'll be conducting a few more interviews with some fans about reviews, and so stay tuned. What is that? Oh my gosh, it looks like kryptonite. Okay, before I get infected, I'm going to leave you guys. So, this is what we got for Christmas in 2012. Thank you for joining me, and go buy it. Go buy it. Go. Leave.